5, true, false, oh, just 50-50, get the feeling and answer it. But true, false can actually be among the most confusing and tricky questions of all. And that's what I wanted to kind of show you and talk to you about for a little bit today. So I'm going to put you to work. This is a test-taking workshop. So what am I going to have you do? Yeah, take a test. And my attitude is that you can never take too many tests. And people look and say, yeah, you're a teacher, aren't you? Okay, this should be the most relaxing test you ever take in your life because, first of all, you're not going to turn it in. And it's not going to get graded. It's just to illustrate some things. Okay, and the other thing I'm going to tell you, 2 things. 10 true-false statements. I want you to read each one carefully a couple times and put T or F in the blank. Right? Normal. But the one thing I wanted to tell you, just so that you understand this, is that the first 5 questions, the first half of this little test, has to do with board games and card games. And if you read a few of these, you may not even know what those games are. And so don't worry about it. Just look at it carefully and make your best guess. I'm not trying to test your knowledge of things, which is what usually happens on a test. The last 5 questions are about study skills. So everyone's kind of more, I guess, even on that one. So again, you don't have to put your name on this. You're not turning this into me, but I'm going to give you about maybe 3 minutes or so to work through these. And I don't want you to go really, really fast, but I don't want you to get stuck on one either. So just take a few minutes to do these, try to answer them the best you can, and then I'm going to use this as part of my teaching in just a couple minutes. Okay. Now, whether you got all those right, whether you missed half of them, doesn't really matter for this, but what I wanted to say first is to make sure everyone understands the most important thing about true-false, and that is when you read a true-false statement, how much of it needs to be true in order for you to mark true. Yeah, all of it. And the reason for that, so 100%, that means that if you read a long true-false statement and 90% of it was right and one little part was wrong, it's false. It's got to all be right. So one of the worst things you could do as a test taker is to read a true-false statement kind of quickly. Okay, that's true. Okay, that's false, because it's easy to overlook one word or one part of a word that can make the whole thing false. So you actually want to slow way down when you read true false and look at every word and even look at it twice and make sure you see everything and then answer. Okay? Now, the second thing, which is the main point of this little quiz that I had you take, is this. It's always good to be on the lookout for specific words in true false that have a tendency to guide you as to whether something is more likely true or false. And so I want you to help me with these. We'll just kind of compile a list pretty quickly here. In statement number 1, what is the key word there?
Everyone.
Everyone. Okay, what does everyone mean?
100%.
Yeah, it means everyone. Okay, how many exceptions? None. Okay, when you see a word like that in a true-false statement, what is the answer usually going to be? It's usually going to be false. Always false? No, but usually, and that's because most things in life have at least one exception, and all you have to do is think of one exception, and it makes the whole thing false. And I'm going to show you a little more about that in a minute. How about number 2?
No one.
Right, no one. Okay, and no one means no one, no exceptions. It's the same exact idea as this. It's just on the other end. So whenever you see a word that has no exceptions to it, it's very extreme, then all you have to do is say, okay, that is a danger word. So if I can think of one exception, it's false. And if you can't think of any exceptions, mark true. But usually those are false.